but it is a privilege for me to be here today to honor our special guests on my right. Not only are we honoring our veterans that are here with us today at Carver Elementary School, but today we are honoring all of our veterans across this great country. Together this morning, boys and girls, we will take the next 40 minutes or so to sing, to share poems, and learn important facts about this day. And boys and girls, this is one of the ways that we together can say thank you to these brave men and women sitting in front of us today. At this time, I would like to invite Matthew Buck, Danny Furtado, Austin Hall, and Billy Ray. They will recite the Pledge of Allegiance. And Dylan Young, who will be sharing a poem called Veterans Day, and it is written by Cheryl Dyson. Aria and Dylan?
On Veterans Day, we honor all who answered to a service call. Soldiers young and soldiers old fought for freedom, brave and bold. Some have lived while others died, and all of them deserve our pride. We're proud of all the soldiers who kept thinking of red, white, and blue. They fought for us and all our rights. They fought for many days and nights. And though we may not know each name, we thank all veterans just the same.
Samantha Murray will provide the introduction to our next song. Samantha?
During the War of 1812, Francis Scott Key wrote the words of this song after spending an anxious night awaiting the outcome of an enemy bombardment at Fort McHenry. He wrote this poem on the back of an envelope he had in his pocket. Since he did not know who the victor of the battle would be, he ended the first verse with a question mark. Many years later, John Stafford Smith wrote the music that we all now sing. Please rise and join us in singing our national anthem, Star Spangled Banner.
Yeah.
Next, we have Alana Irvine and Leanne Lane, and they will share important Veterans Day facts.
Veterans Day is always observed on November 11th. Veterans Day is celebrated with speeches and parades across the U.S. On Veterans Day, Americans honor all living military veterans, including the many working moms who are veterans of military service.
And now I would like to invite Ada Passel. She will provide an introduction to our next song.
Was a Russian-born Jewish American composer and lyricist, widely considered one of the greatest. Widely considered one of the greatest songwriters in American history. He wrote around 1,250 songs, including God Bless America, which was first sung in 1938. Mr. Burnham had a great love for his new country, and in this song he shares his feelings about being American.
And now I would like to invite 4 of our Girl Scouts to come and read a poem entitled Veteran, and it is written by Lynn Carey. Corinne Farley, Olivia Place, Brooke Slavin, and Lily Young.
I was a proud veteran that served my country well. To those that would listen, I have many stories to tell. We fought for American freedom in faraway places on foreign lands. Did ever bow for this democracy reigned, America's finest may stand. We fought for your future and the right to remain free, where we saw what freedom meant to those not blessed with liberty. For you and yours, we would gladly have given our life. We face the fears and perils of battle. We braved endless turmoil and strife.
Please remember us veterans and the sacrifices we made for you. Please share the blessings of freedom. Proudly wave the red, white, and blue.
And now, please welcome Ainsley Rogers. She will be sharing additional facts about the significance of today.
The holiday began as Armistice Day on November 11th, 1919, the first anniversary of the end of World War I. In 1926, Congress passed a resolution for annual observance. In 1938, November 11th became a national holiday.
So a very special part of our ceremony for the last 3 years is we have invited a guest speaker. This morning, we welcome our special guest speaker, Mr. Mike Walt.
Thank you, Mr. Lance. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I'm honored to be speaking with you today on such a special occasion. We're here today to honor the service members and to remember the sacrifices they have made for our country. Take a look at the group to my right. We are celebrating them today. Some are mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, aunts, uncles, grandfathers, grandmothers, cousins, and maybe even a neighbor. These service members we honor today come from all walks of life, but all share similar qualities. They possess courage, pride, determination, selflessness, dedication to duty, and most importantly, integrity. I know some of the kids are always asking me, what is a veteran? Who is a veteran? Well, kids, veterans are people who serve in the U.S. military, whether that be the Army, the Navy, the Marine Corps, the Air Force, or the Coast Guard. They serve in times of war and during times of peace. Veterans are everywhere. They are teachers, custodians, postal workers, doctors, firefighters, police officers, and even football coaches. If you were wondering what our military does, our military is here to protect our country around the world. Just like the police protect our town here in Carver, the military is our watchdog to keep us safe. Millions of Americans have fought here and abroad to defend our freedoms and our way of life. Today our troops continue to make the ultimate sacrifices. And even as we lose troops, more Americans step forward to serve anyway. They follow in the footsteps of generations of fine Americans. We have awarded medals to many service members, added their names to monuments, named buildings in their honor for their bravery. But nothing can ever replace the hole left behind by a fallen service member. No number of medals, no ribbons, can comfort the ones that are left behind. Tomorrow, on Veterans Day, people throughout the country will gather together to honor and to pay gratitude to those who have served our country. Our celebration here at your school is a small way we can honor those who have sacrificed so much so that we can live in freedom. Your presence today here is a way that we're all saying we remember. Thank you for the opportunity of allowing me to speak today. It's a great honor. May God bless you all, your families. May God bless our troops. And may God continue to bless America. Thank you.
for welcoming our speaker today and for sharing your important message with our students. And now, we have some special gifts that we would like to present to our veteran friends that are here with us today. I have a few helpers. We're going to have some of our Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts help. And we have our veteran friends that are sitting in the front row that will be helping as well. So what we have this morning is we have certificates, we have carnations, and we have a special pin for each of our veterans. So I'll first start with Mr. Dan Badger. If Mr. Dan Badger, come on up. Thank you, Mr. Bill. Alan D'Angelo. Alan D'Angelo. We also have a certificate for Mr. Wayne Furness, who wasn't able to be with us today. So let's give Mr. Furness, Wayne, and Dave a big round of applause. Mr. Richard Carroll. Mr. Aaron Charbonneau. Mr. Joseph Clardy. Mike Tripp. Mr. Sean Bailey. Mr. Brandon DeAndrea. Mr. Kevin Farrell. Mr. Gary Schumann. Mr. John Gavin. Mr. Darrell Furman. I just learned that Mr. Furman is the great-grandfather of the Holden brothers. Miss Debbie Marshall Hewitt. Mr. William Kearney. Mr. Walter Cole. Mr. George Furness. Mr. John Baylor. Mr. James Stewart. Mr. John Sullivan. Mr. Ryan McNamara. Miss Gladys Mueller. I'm going to give this to Jack because Miss Gladys Mueller wasn't able to make it this morning, so I'll give Jack a big round of applause. Mr. Nick Tuberosa. Mr. Doug Raymond. All right, boys and girls, we are almost there. So someone that is very familiar to many of us, Mr. Hy-Peak Baker. Mr. Stephen Tibbetts. Mr. Mike Wall. Miss Abigail Niven. Mr. Christopher Ray. And Mr. Steve Blackton.
We have one more veteran to honor today, and that is our very own principal, Mrs. Ruby Myers.
Yes, that's right. I am a veteran and I served in the Army National Guard from 1988 to 1992. And I'm very proud. Thank you. All right, so next I would like to invite Ava Freitas to provide an introduction about the song we all know as America the Beautiful.
One day, in 1893, Captain Lee Bates stood on top of the Colorado Pikes Peak and looked for miles in every direction. She seemed to see all of America: mountains, valleys, and wide prairies. It was after this experience that she wrote the poem America the Beautiful. Please rise.
And now Peter Leone and Michaela Swanson will come up to share additional Veterans Day facts.
In 1953,
while President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed legislation changing the name of Veterans Day in order to honor veterans of all American wars. There are approximately 23.2 million military veterans in the United States.
Britain, France, Australia, and Canada also commemorate the veterans of World Wars I and II on or near November 9th. Canada has Remembrance Day, the second Sunday of November, while Britain has Canada has Remembrance Day, while Britain has Remembrance Sunday, the second Sunday of November. In Europe, Britain and the Commonwealth countries, it is common to observe 2 minutes of silence at 11 a.m. every November 11th.
And now Megan McKean will come up to provide an introduction to our final song.
Our final song is Thank You Soldiers. It was written and composed by Tussing Elementary students in Virginia with the help from their music specialist. The music specialist stated, "As we celebrate our country's founding, it also, I feel, a must to thank the men and women of our armed forces who are serving to keep this country free. Please rise."
Lay
our veterans. Dear veterans, maybe you have heard similar words to these many times before, but if you have not, I hope it is the first of many. Today, at this moment, we want you to know that we recognize the importance of what you have done for our country, for our state, and for our community. The sacrifices you have made so that we can be free to live our lives each day will never be forgotten. Your willingness, your sacrifice to serve, whether the Army, the Navy, the Air Force, the Marines, or the Coast Guard. Some of you have committed your entire lives. Some of you served one deployment, 2, maybe 3, maybe more. But you have all earned our gratitude. And today we also want to make sure to thank your family, your moms or your dads, your brothers, your sisters, your sons or your daughters, your husbands or your wives. They have made huge sacrifices also. They have had many days and nights without you. In some cases, your loved ones celebrated a birthday or maybe 2 without you. While you were away fighting battle so that we could remain the home of the free. While we may not know the depth of how difficult this was for you and your family, we know it was a sacrifice for something that was bigger than you, bigger than us all. So today as we close, I would like to leave with a quote from Dan Lipinski. On this Veterans Day, let us remember the service of our veterans, and let us renew our national promise to fulfill our sacred obligation to our veterans and their families who have sacrificed so much for us all so that we can be free. Thank you, veterans. Thank you, everyone. And this concludes our ceremony for this morning. At this time, we would like to have our veterans and their student join together as they exit, and they're going to, students, boys and girls that have a veteran friend, you're going to escort them to the classroom on your table. So you're going to show them where to go. And then the rest of the students will follow the direction of their teacher as they leave. But if we can please allow the veterans and their veteran friends. Also, we just want to give a big round of applause to our music program, our music department, Mrs. Giokas, Mrs. McLaughlin, Mr. Carver. All of the ladies in the office, especially Mrs. Lopez and Mrs. Bearden, Mrs. Janilovich, and Mrs. Toomey, Mrs. Foley, Mrs. Duff, and everyone for helping to make this a very beautiful service. Thank you, boys and girls, because the songs you sang were absolutely beautiful. Keep practicing for next time, okay? Have a great morning.